Imagine that 24 hours before you were born, a genie appeared and gave you a choice. You could design the world you were about to enter, the political system, the economy, the social rules. But there was one condition. You would not know who you were going to be in that world. You would not know whether you would be born rich or poor, male or female, healthy or sick, connected or isolated. You would simply pull a ball from a barrel, and that ball would determine your destiny. That is the ovarian lottery. Some people pull a ball that places them in stable households with educated parents, safe neighborhoods, and financial cushions. Others pull a ball that places them in chaos, instability, and scarcity from day one. The starting line is wildly different. And while hard work matters, starting position quietly shapes the terrain ahead. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Poverty is not only about where you start, it is about a system, a repeating cycle that keeps people trapped long after the initial disadvantages. It is what I call the poverty loop. And most people never escape it, not because they lack intelligence or ambition, but because they underestimate how powerful and self-reinforcing the loop truly is. The poverty loop begins with scarcity. Scarcity is not just the absence of money, it is the constant mental pressure of not having enough. When rent is due, bills are stacking up, and groceries are running low, your brain shifts into survival mode. Neuroscience and behavioral economics both show that financial stress narrows cognitive bandwidth. Your attention becomes consumed by immediate problems. Long-term thinking shrinks. When you are worried about keeping the lights on, you're not thinking about investing in a new skill for 5 years. You're thinking about making it to Friday. Scarcity creates urgency. Urgency drives short-term decisions. Short-term decisions often carry long-term costs. A payday loan solves today's crisis but multiplies next month's burden. A missed payment triggers fees. Fees increase debt. Debt increases stress. Stress weakens judgment. Weaker judgment produces more reactive choices. The loop tightens. Over time, instability compounds the problem. Low income often means irregular work schedules, hourly wages without benefits, limited healthcare access, and unpredictable income. Planning becomes difficult when the ground shifts every month. You can't build momentum when you're constantly resetting to zero.
And here is where the second layer of the loop forms: environment. Children raised in financially stable homes absorb invisible advantages. They learn language patterns that signal confidence. They witness long-term planning. They observe investment conversations at dinner tables. They are introduced to networks. They grow up believing that certain paths are normal. Children raised in scarcity often absorb different lessons. They learn caution. They learn to expect disruption. They learn to prioritize safety over risk. They may never see examples of wealth built slowly and ethically. They may not learn how credit works, how investing works, or how professional networking operates. The gap is not IQ. It is exposure plus repetition. Then comes identity. If someone lives in financial stress long enough, it becomes part of who they believe they are. I'm just bad with money. People like us don't get ahead. Rich people are lucky. These are not statements of fact. They are psychological anchors. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes outcomes. Outcomes reinforce identity. If you believe wealth is not for you, you will subconsciously avoid actions that lead toward it. You may self-sabotage when opportunities appear. You may undercharge for your work. You may avoid negotiating salaries. You may not apply for higher roles because that's not my world. And every missed opportunity confirms the belief. The poverty loop is not only economic, it is psychological. But here is the part that matters most. While the starting line may be luck, the loop is maintained by habits and decisions, and habits can be redesigned. Breaking the poverty loop requires shifting from reaction to design. The first step is awareness. Most people feel trapped but cannot articulate why. Once you see the pattern, scarcity to stress to short-term decisions to deeper scarcity, you gain leverage. You stop blaming yourself entirely, but you also stop pretending the system will fix itself. The second step is subtraction. Many people in low income attempt to escape by adding more side hustles, more distractions, more opportunities. They spread energy thinly across 5 ideas, 10 gigs, 15 goals. Motion increases, but progress stalls. Focus is a weapon. Choose one skill that increases earning power, not 10, 1. It could be coding, plumbing, writing, digital marketing, accounting, welding, nursing. The specific field matters less than the commitment. Pour consistent effort into mastering that skill for years, not weeks. Mastery compounds. Dabbling does not.
The third step is adopting the inner scorecard. In financially constrained environments, social pressure can be intense. People feel compelled to display success before they have built it. Cars, clothes, vacations, and lifestyle upgrades become symbols of worth. But this is the outer scorecard, living for how it looks rather than what it builds. The outer scorecard feeds the poverty loop because it encourages spending to impress rather than investing to grow. The inner scorecard asks a different question. If nobody could see this decision, would I still make it? Would I still buy this? Would I still upgrade? Would I still post this? Financial escape often looks boring. It looks like driving the same car for years. It looks like saying no to expensive outings. It looks like reinvesting money instead of broadcasting success. The inner scorecard builds stability quietly. The outer scorecard builds fragility loudly. The fourth step is integrity. In scarcity, shortcuts appear seductive. Quick money schemes, risky investments, shady deals, under-the-table arrangements. But shortcuts often reset the loop harsher than before. Legal trouble, broken trust, damaged reputation, these are expensive. Reputation compounds just like money. When you are known for reliability and honesty, opportunities travel toward you. When you are known for cutting corners, doors close silently. Trust reduces friction. Friction consumes energy. The fifth step is the long game. The poverty loop thrives on immediacy. Breaking it requires patience. Compounding is slow at first and dramatic later. Most people quit in the flat part of the curve because it feels invisible. Imagine saving a small amount consistently. At first, it looks insignificant. Imagine reading 20 pages a day. The first month feels small. Imagine building a skill daily for 5 years. The first year shows modest results. But time is the exponent. 5 years of disciplined habits can double income. 10 years can transform social circles. 20 years can rewrite family history. The tragedy is not that compounding does not work. The tragedy is that most people interrupt it. They withdraw savings early. They abandon skill development halfway. They switch paths repeatedly. They react to short-term discomfort. Escaping low income is rarely about one dramatic breakthrough. It is about sustained, boring, consistent behavior. There is another factor often ignored: organization. Chaos magnifies poverty. Forgotten bills create fees. Overlooked subscriptions drain resources. Disorganized finances increase anxiety. Anxiety reduces decision quality. The loop strengthens. Clarity reduces stress. When you know exactly what is due, when it is due, and what has been paid, you reduce mental noise. Reduced noise improves focus. Improved focus strengthens strategy. Systems break cycles. You do not need complex spreadsheets to begin. You need visibility, a clear record of monthly bills, a tracking system for subscriptions, a simple method to log payments and due dates. When finances are organized, decisions become deliberate instead of reactive. If you are serious about breaking the poverty loop, start with control. Control what you can track. Track what you can improve. Improve what you can repeat. This is why practical tools matter. A structured system like the Ultimate Bill Tracker by Frederick Goodwin, an Amazon bestseller, is designed for this exact purpose: clarity, consistency, and reduced financial stress. It provides simple monthly tracking pages, due date checklists, subscription logs, and annual overviews so nothing slips through the cracks. It is not about complicated budgeting theory. It is about awareness. Awareness builds control. Control builds momentum. If you are tired of late fees, forgotten payments, and financial fog, take a practical step today. Purchase the Ultimate Bill Tracker on Amazon and begin building financial order month by month. Small organization habits compound just like investments do. The poverty loop is powerful, but it is not destiny. You did not choose your starting ball in the barrel, but you can choose your operating system. You can choose subtraction over distraction. You can choose inner standards over social validation. You can choose integrity over shortcuts. You can choose patience over impulse. And you can choose systems over chaos. Most people never escape low income because they underestimate time, overestimate intensity, and never redesign their habits. They try harder instead of thinking longer. They chase bursts instead of building compounding structures. The escape is not glamorous. It is disciplined. It is repetitive. It is often invisible for years. But one day, you look back, and the loop that once felt unbreakable has weakened. The stress is lighter. The decisions are calmer. The income is steadier. The identity has shifted.
Want to reduce financial stress? Set up your system today. The Ultimate Bill Tracker is available now. Grab your copy.